In my eventful 8th grade year, I was criticized not because of my race, interests, or even the people I hung out with. I was criticized because of babies. More specifically, I was criticized for the pronouns I used regarding them. And to explain this, I must tell you all a story, so relax and enjoy. The story begins with my middle school that had a program where 8th graders were able to travel to Washington, D.C. The sun was just lazily rising up above the Library of Congress, and, me being me, I was standing a little distance away from the tour group. I look around and I notice a few girls in our group staring at something heading our way. These girls were looking at the child of a Korean mother walking along with her friend. Eventually, the two women and child get closer to us, and with that, even more people became distracted by the baby because I don't know if you've noticed, babies have a very unique power. And that power is called cuteness. And this baby was a friggin' master at it. I am dead serious when I say that the way that toddler waddled around could make a perfectly healthy human get diabetes because that sight was just way too sweet. Honestly, I would have lost my man card if I had one. Moving onwards, the women and child were coming in our general direction, but they turned to us once something horrific happened. The baby waddled directly towards us. Yes, it was terrible because that baby had now just distracted everyone, including the tour guide. We were all captivated by the baby's adorable giggles and wide smiles as it waddled closer towards us. Suddenly, an idea popped into my mind. The baby was a little Korean boy, so from one Asian to another, I'll give it a high five. So I held out my hand for the little guy and guess what? Guess what unfathomable treachery that little infant Homo sapien did to me? Did it vomit on me? No. Did it ignore me? No. Instead, that baby raised its arm, looked at me in the eyes, and placed its hand in mine. In other words, that little diaper held my hand. Before I knew it, I heard people behind me go, "Aww," and at that moment I died a little inside. My habit of standing apart from the group backfired because everybody was able to see my humiliating experience. My best friend saw me, my crush saw me, even the tour guide saw me. There was no escape, and so, with my face beat red, I held that adorable demon's hand and led it back to its mother. Now then, time to move on to the main reason for this weird rant. A week or two after the DC trip, I told my two friends about the event. Now, my reason for telling them the story was just to let them humiliate me because even I found the event funny, but they responded with something completely off topic for me. Once finished with the story, they would ask, "Wait, did you just call a baby an it?" I was so confused with their focus on that one little thing, and when I asked why, they justified their reasons with how it's wrong because you're dehumanizing the baby. Okay, first, let's just get this straight. Do you actually believe a baby would say,
Hold up! Can you just use the pronoun it when referring to me? You're not recognizing me as a human being, are you?
"No, a baby would not do that," and second, I only use the pronoun it when referring to a baby because I don't want to be wrong whenever I refer to a baby. I have been scarred by anime, so being wrong about a person's gender and then being told by their parents that that's not their actual gender is not something I really want to experience. Actually, now that I'm giving it my thoughts, if a person were to confront me about it, I honestly hope the conversation would go something like, "Aw, she's so cute."
Actually, my baby's a boy. You actually thought he was a girl?
Pardon me, madam, but we live in a progressive society, so how do you know your child is a boy and not a girl? Did you ask your baby? No, I don't think so. Yeah, that never happened unless they're a good friend of mine. Anyway, my point is that just because you're referring to a child with the pronoun it does not mean you're dehumanizing them. It honestly doesn't matter oh so much because when you think about it, people use pronouns for humans when referring to cars and such. I rest my case.